104.1 KRBE, a Cumulus media station.
Good morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with producer Eric, Special K, and Sam.
All right, let's go around the table here real quick. We got a few stories for you.
Well, listen, I will tell you that a lot of people mispronounce a lot of names, and it's hard. I get it. Hey, my name is Roula. My whole life I've been mispronounced. That's why I'm very sensitive to mispronounced names.
My friend calls this show the Roula and Ryland Show.
That's so funny. You know, the first time I ever did drunk news for this show, this guy called us the Nolan Ryan Show.
Oh, that was great. I
So
remember
funny.
that.
So we were taking calls about misdelivered packages, and a lot of people are ordering from this company called SHEIN. There's also TEMU.
Shein?
So people
Shein?
call it Sheen, and two of our callers called it Sheen when they got misdelivered Sheen.
Okay.
But according to this, we are all saying it wrong. It is officially, and I think we mentioned it once before, but it didn't stick.
Okay.
It's Shein.
Yeah, I've been
Shein?
saying that since the beginning
I've been
because
saying it too, yeah.
it's like
Shein.
she's in with the fashion. She
Right.
in. Oh, she in with all that.
Ah, okay.
So the top mispronounced words in the United States of 2024, Shein.
Shein.
We just don't know how to say it. Kamala Harris just ran to be the president. People could not get her name right. They call her Kamala. It's Kamala Harris. Award-winning Irish actor Barry
Keoghan, yeah.
is in Gladiators 2 alongside Paul Mescal. People cannot say his name.
He was the Joker in The Batman with Rob Pattinson.
I don't remember that. I don't
Barry.
watch that
It was
movie.
like an end-credit scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a very small scene, and he's going to have a more prominent role in the sequel.
So his name is spelled Keoghan. I feel like that's not hard to figure out. That's
How do you say it again?
Keoghan.
Keoghan?
It's Keoghan.
Okay.
But people are saying Kofgan, Kagan. Like that.
I like the fact that they're not like, if you look at the golden age of Hollywood and all the old timey stars, they all had stage names.
Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally made up.
They were all just
Yeah.
like made up stage names. Now people are able to go with their real name.
Well, a name that even I've struggled with, even though I'm such a fan of this actress and I think that she's awesome. I'm like, wait, do you say it this way or that way? It's not Zendaya. It's Zendaya.
Yeah.
And I always have to think about it before I say her name. It's Zendaya. Think of what a great day is.
Yeah.
Zendaya.
It's a Zendaya.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that this name has been mispronounced and it made the list. Because I don't see how, well, I guess people,
Spell it for us first, and we'll see if we get it right.
okay, Chappell,
Chapel.
Yeah.
right?
Oh, people say
Roan.
Chappelle Roan.
People say Chappelle Rowan.
Yeah.
Well, because Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah,
but Dave Chappelle has an E on the end.
Chappelle.
And chapel, like a chapel you're going to get married in is Chapel, but Chapel Roan. It's not Chapel Rowan.
Is that her real name?
No, her real name is
it's like Kaylee or something.
Yeah.
How'd she come up with that stage name?
I have no idea. She does drag, so it does sound like a drag queen name.
Okay.
Let's see what else is one of the
have to look that
most
up.
pronounced words of 2024. Sabrina Carpenter made this very, very popular, especially with the Summer Olympics. They just seem to have taken on her song Espresso.
Okay.
Everyone says
espresso.
espresso.
Oh, espresso. Okay.
No.
I mean,
No, there's no X.
No.
There's no X.
It's espresso. I got you the answer here. Chapel Roan chose her stage name to honor her late grandfather, Dennis K. Chappell, and his favorite song, The Strawberry Roan.
wow.
How poetic.
Oh, how nice. Let's see. The tech giant that has become the world's most valuable company in 2024, surpassing Apple and Microsoft, is a name that people cannot seem to pronounce. And this tech giant is spelled NVIDIA.
Invita.
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA. And the problem with
What's their
NVIDIA,
product?
If they're a tech giant, but I thought NVIDIA, is that the parent company of who's doing all like the Ozempic shots and stuff?
Is it?
Or is that Illy?
Oh, I don't know about that. Hang
Because
on,
I
let me
know
look it up.
NVIDIA has become a tech stock like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I get notified every day of some of the biggest stocks, like off of my
Really?
Alexa, and NVIDIA is
NVIDIA.
always coming across my feed.
Yeah, NVIDIA.
I don't think I've
Illy
invested
is
in
doing the shots.
Novo,
What's NVIDIA got?
Novo Nordisk is the parent company of Ozempic.
Novo Nordisk.
Nvidia has something to do with video games.
Is that right?
No, that would make sense.
Oh, in AI. In AI.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
AI.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
AI. That's right. So NVIDIA. Also, NVIDIA, wasn't it that very scandalous, terrible sex trafficking celebrity ring? Remember?
That's and. Oh my
Well, you
God.
don't want to
Something
attach
with an
that
N
with
and V.
anything.
It's something with an N and a V. I mean, that was a real
God.
scandalous thing.
Yes, and there was an actress tied to it who was bringing people
Oh, is
in.
that the girl from Smallville?
Yes,
Yes.
I watched that
Oh.
whole thing with Keith,
Yes.
Keith Raynor.
Right, but was it like something with an? I'm looking it up right now. What is
Okay.
the name of that Smallville actor?
NXIVM. NXIVM.
Yes.
That's the cult.
Yes.
Okay, that's the
Yeah,
cult.
yeah.
So there's an NX in there, not an NV. NXI.
Yeah, I wouldn't tie them to NVIDIA.
Oh Lord.
Do not do that.
No, but how are you even supposed to say that? I don't even know how you say the cult name. NXIVM.
In the documentary, I think that's what they
Nexium.
said it. Nexium.
Oh,
Yes.
Nexium, right? Because a V is a U.
And it
in a
was
lot of times.
Allison Mack from Smallville.
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
When you start reading what she did, this person needs to be behind bars for life.
According to this one, I just Googled the story to find it out. What's the date here? July 4 of 2023. Allison Mack, who pled guilty for her role in that sex trafficking case, has been released from prison.
What?
She was
She's
released
out?
last year?
Yeah.
How's she
Yeah.
out?
that was a
Destroyed
2023
lives.
story.
Destroyed lives.
Watch the whole documentary on it. It's fascinating.
Because that guy
and
you're talking about,
frustrating.
Kev, was
Keith
sentenced
Raynor.
to 120 years in prison.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, he was doing a lot of things to a lot of different women.
Yeah.
Yikes.
He was like the Jeffrey, what's his name?
Epstein.
Yeah, and she was like one of the minions that he had taken over and then turned her
Right.
into a
She was the
groomer.
Ghislaine.
Was she the Ghislaine or was she one of the girls that was a victim turned groomer?
I feel
a
like
Ghislaine?
I feel like she started grooming pretty quickly.
Okay.
See, my question is, you're on that set. How do you not notice any of this behavior?
Well, think about any neighbor you've ever seen on any news story ever of a murder when the neighbor's like, I don't know, they're real
Yeah,
quiet.
you're such
They
a
always
quiet
put
guy. He
themselves."
was such a nice
I
guy.
had no idea. They hacked up their grandma and put them in 17 different dumpsters. So crazy. Other mispronounced words of 2024. Noah is a very simple name. We all know how to say that name.
Noah?
Noah. But how do you say Kahan?
K-A-H.
Khan, yeah.
It's Khan, but a lot of people say Noah Kahan, Noah Kahan, Noah Kahan. It's Noah Khan. We had great success giving his tickets away. People were going crazy for him. He performed on Saturday Night Live, sold out Madison Square Garden, raised over $2.5 million for mental health foundations, and people just don't know how to say his last name. And Noah Khan is one of the other most mispronounced names of the year.
Any more?
There's a whole list of stuff that I don't even know what it is. There's a colorful Korean fruit punch that went viral on social media. Do you know?
Hwache. It's Hwache.
You're correct. You got it right.
Yeah.
Hwache.
I got to make y'all some next year. Try it Tuesday.
Did you like it?
I haven't tried it, but I'll try it with y'all if y'all buy the
Hwache.
ingredients.
Hwache. Let's see what else. Primark. Anybody know what Primark is? That's
It's
on the list
like
too.
UK, like H&M mixed with Walmart.
Right, and people don't know how to say it. They say Primark. It's Primark because it's spelled P-R-I, Mark. And there you can see the whole list if you go to Babbel has the story of the most mispronounced words. Of course, Babbel does.
The story I had, it's popped up, oh my God, probably for the last 6 weeks, I keep getting these things on my feed. I did not know this was the case. 58% of people in the world, not just in America, 58% of people actually hate the sound of their own voice. Cannot stand the sound of their
I'm
own
surprised
voice.
not higher. When people hear themselves, like, oh, I don't want to hear myself. I don't like
Yeah,
the way
they
I
don't put on
sound."
headphones when they come in here.
Right. Oh, yeah. That we've learned that.
You know,
in
I
radio.
rarely
People
will
get totally
listen-
thrown off when they hear themselves through a mic.
Yeah, we do the job, and it's like I rarely will go back and listen, because we have already said it. But I don't like the sound of my voice. Like when I go back and hear it,
Don't
I'm
believe
like,
that.
I set myself up. I know.
I've gotten numb to it working in radio, really.
Well, I mean, but for us, it's different because this is our environment. This is our life, right? But it is shocking when the average Joe that doesn't have a broadcast job hears themselves or has. That's why public speaking is the number one fear around the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they cannot stand to be in front of a group and then having other people hear their voice.
See, I don't get that. I mean, because I'm kind of from that whole school. Like my daughter's like this too. Kind of like awkward in social situations, but completely at ease when performing or in front of a stage or, in front of a microphone or anything like that. And as many actors I've interviewed throughout the years, a lot of them said the same thing. The only time they were comfortable was when they were performing on stage or speaking in public.
You know, the first time I got a slap in the face reality check on that, how actors don't know how to be real people, is after 9/11 when the whole world was devastated and there are these telethons going on, the massive celebrity telethon. that every single actor that if they had a prompter problem, they were just frozen faced in the camera.
Oh, they didn't know how to
And it happened to so many
ad-lib?
of them. Everyone's like, what is going on? Like, you can tell the difference between the actor that has a real personality and the one that has to be given the written words. Now, let's give them some little grace. It was 9/11. We were all shell-shocked.
Yeah.
But they're actors. They're professionals. They were raising money for, New York and D.C. and Pennsylvania and all that. And I'm thinking, gosh, if the teleprompter went down, you would think. Remember when Jonah Hill and Margot Robbie were at the Golden Globes and
Yes.
they were promoting Wolf of Wall Street and the teleprompter went down? So
They
them
were lost.
and Margot Robbie starts biting her thumb, like real nervous, and Jonah's like, no kidding, this is not a bit. The teleprompter just went down. We have no idea what we're supposed to say. And in that case, I get it because they are there to do there's a task, there's a category they're supposed to present. You can't give anybody that much information on the category, all the nominees and all the names and who the winner is without the teleprompter. Yeah, they could riff for a little bit, but what are they going to say? Hey, somebody, the best actor.
Yes, someone's going to have to run up a little notepad to him or
There are
something.
also actors who they just can't speak. If you ever have had to sit through an interview with Harrison Ford or Johnny Depp, you can barely understand them.
When they were
They just
younger-
grumble.
Reserved.
But I
Harrison
think when they were
Ford
younger,
is.
they
But
because there's I think
On the
age.
movie screen, they speak fluid.
Yeah.
Well, it's also the movie magic. Don't forget.
Wait,
Cup for that.
before we
Cup for
go,
time.
can you guys pronounce the name of the Irish actress that everybody wants us to pronounce?
Oh,
her name?
Saoirse.
Saoirse Ronan.
It looks like Soirees. Soirees.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've always had to look her up, and I've had to phonetically find a Google file to hear how it is. It's Saoirse.
It does
I
not
can't even
look
say
like
it.
that's how that. Saoirse. Saoirse Ronan.
Sure, yeah, that. All right, coming up next, it's Believe It or Not time. We haven't done this, I think, since we did the paranormal, but let's hear what you got. 833-390-KRBE. It's Believe It or Not. You tell us a story that sounds unbelievable but true, and the stories can only be as good as you present them. So let's hear what you got next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Believe it or not, the stories are true. Don't even let anyone try to book you. Either you could be dead, nearly chopped off your head. Roula Ryan Show. Believe it or not, Eric's not a Muppet. Maybe just Kermit, Oscar the Grouch.
That's true. Today it's Sleepy Sleep. Howdy ho. Hello.
All
Hi,
right.
it's the Roula and Ryan Show, and our number is 833-390-KRBE. It's time for Believe It or Not, where you tell us an unbelievable but true story, whether it happened to you or somebody you know. Man, we have been thrown with a lot of these stories because it's unreal, and others are like, oh, okay, that's fine. Is that
Yeah,
real?
we just want to hear from you right now. 833-390-KRBE. Believe it or not.
We started up with Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
So, does this happen to you or somebody in your family? Or somebody you know?
This happened to me.
Happened to you. Okay, so take us through it.
I'm going to try to keep this as PG as possible on the radio. So
Oh, parental
my
discretion.
family watched a very adult video for Christmas one year.
Wait, you said your family watched one for Christmas one year?
Yes.
Like purposely planned, like we're going to watch, like you mean adult themes, like a lot of violence or what?
It wasn't exactly planned. So, slight backstory. A week before, I was ordering, this was back when, you paid for all of the premium channels on, for
Cable.
like pay-per-view and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Right, on cable. And so a week before, my dad asked me to order all the movie channels because we're all going to be in town and we wanted to watch movies for Christmas. So I noticed on the package that the Playboy channel was included for $5 more.
Uh-oh.
And so I mentioned it, and he goes, oh, add that one too. I'm like, okay, whatever. So fast forward to Christmas Day, me and two of my sisters were all sitting around. We'd all opened presents. And I looked at my sister, and I said, oh, yeah, we have all the movie channels, including the Playboy channel. And she goes, no, we don't. And I said, want to bet? Her boyfriend immediately grabs the remote,
Oh, no.
flips it to the exact channel. He goes, oh, I know what channel that is. Flips it to the channel, and it is a full frontal
Yeah.
scene.
Gotcha.
My
Oh,
sister,
Lord.
who's about 16 at the time, flips over the back of the chair. She's screaming. My parents come running out of the room. There, my stepmom starts screaming. At this point, the remote gets lost. We
Oh,
can't
no.
find it.
Oh my
Me,
gosh, no.
my
This is like when you
Stuck there.
grab the
And
plug to the
my-
TV
yeah.
and pull it out.
Yeah, so me, my dad, and my sister's boyfriend are on the floor. We are laughing so hard we can't breathe. Two of my sisters and my stepmom are screaming. No one can find the remote. This goes on for about 5 minutes before we finally changed the channel.
And that 5 minutes probably felt like an hour. How old were you at the time, Sarah? How old were you at the time?
I was in college, so I was in my 20s. Now, me and all my sisters are all in our 30s now, and we laugh about this story.
Oh, my God, that is hilarious. Especially if the boys are like, oh, I know what channel that is. Bang, boom, there it is. Oh, my God, that is so hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was very graphic, memorable Christmas.
Oh,
Good
my
times.
God, that's hilarious.
We all have the Christmas spirit. Thank you for that, Sarah.
You know, it's awkward
have
at
a
the
great
time,
day.
but like she
Take
said,
care.
years later, you look back at it and it's really kind of funny
Yeah,
because it
and
was
the-
innocent.
The Playboy channel don't really show nothing else.
No, it's not hardcore or
Yeah,
anything. It
yeah.
does show
Hey, listen,
full nudity.
At the time, any nudity is not good nudity if your parents are in the room.
Right,
Come on.
Not with the family.
Come on.
True.
Okay, Yvette's up next at 833-390-KRBE. You call us with a story that sounds unbelievable, but it's true. Hi, Yvette. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
So it's a family story or one happened to you or what's the circumstance?
Family story.
Okay.
Okay.
What happened?
So basically, what happened was a couple years back, my grandpa and my uncle share the same name. So my uncle ended up taking loans and credit cards under my grandpa's name, and he ended up stealing $100,000
Oh, my.
from him.
Oh, my
My
God.
Lord.
We've heard about this before where somebody had the same name. Didn't we have like a revenge a few months ago, Roula, where the dad had the same name as the son and he had taken out a loan under his
Randy
son's
Jr.
name?
Jr..
Yeah. Yeah, it does happen.
And you know what, Yvette? We definitely have had stories of the embarrassment of family drama where your own blood steals from you, like a grandma being taken advantage of or
Such
a
a
mom or
betrayal.
dad being taken advantage of. What ended up happening? Did everybody want to disown this uncle for ripping off grandpa, or did he ever get the money back? Did grandpa get the money back?
He never got the money back, but so basically what had happened was they weren't gonna press charges or anything until like it got really serious that I think they started like trying to take from like their taxes and stuff what they were missing from them.
Man.
So they ended up pressing charges, and we only knew it was him because he served in the military. And there was a loan from the military under his name. So that's the only way we knew it was him.
Did you confront
Oh,
him?
my gosh,
Like, did
so-
you guys talk to him?
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me."
Oh.
So he knows the family is trying to figure out who's ripping off grandpa, and he's sitting there like, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
who's doing it. So what? So they ended up pressing charges. Did he see jail time, or what was the
They
end
haven't
result?
figured it out yet.
Still going on.
The case is still open.
Oh my God! You really are a special type of terrible.
Yeah,
I
if
know.
you're
That
ripping off your
sucks.
mom and dad.
That's shame your name and believe it or not.
That is 100% shame your name. That's another segment we do when somebody in your family.
Sorry you had to go
embarrasses you.
through that. That's terrible.
Sorry, your grandparents had to go through that, Yvette. Thanks for sharing your story. You're not alone. Take care. Have a happy weekend.
You too. Bye.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye. Believe it or not, 833-390-KRBE. Kevin, yes or no?
He's
throwing
waving his hands up in the air like, I don't know.
Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Do I have time or am I have time?
Yeah,
Let's
give it
just
a
see-
shot.
Let's see what we get. Let's just see what we get. Let's go. Let's like a lottery. Let me just pick a
Go
number.
blind on this
Hi,
one.
Nydia, welcome to the Roula and Ryan show.
Hi.
Hey, good morning.
How are you? What's your Believe It or Not story?
So my Believe It or Not story involves super glue.
Super glue. Okay.
Is this going to make me cringe, gross out, want to barf in a bucket?
No, it's not that.
Is it inappropriate in any way with body
Okay.
parts?
So how does super glue come into it? What's your story?
So when I was about 8 years old, I was outside playing, and I come inside the house. My mom had a glass on the dryer. I thought it was water. I drank it
Uh-oh.
and immediately figured out real quick it wasn't water. My mouth dries up real quick, and then I pour it on my hands. I'm trying to get off my hands. I super glue my hands together, and my mouth closes. I'm breathing.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Wait. You drank glue?
Pause. How is super glue, A, in a drinking glass, and B, liquid enough for you to think as it's going into your mouth that it's liquid water? How does that happen?
Okay, because I was playing, it was hot, and I saw a glass. I was 8. I wasn't thinking, hey, this is not water.
Why
And I
would
get
somebody
it.
have a glass full of super glue on top of the washer?
That's my real question. Why would there be a glass
My
full
mom,
of super glue?
my mom, she needed the glue to glue some stuff, and she thought it would be, I'll pour it in a glass so I can use it. No one's going to mess with it. She didn't think I was going to mess with it.
my God.
Apparently, I did.
So you super glue
And so
your
I-
hands and your mouth together. Do you have to go to the hospital?
Well, I was able to get my mouth open, but I couldn't get my hands apart. So I pulled a blanket over my hands, and I sat on the couch, and I magically turned the TV on with my foot, and I sat there for like 6 hours with my hands super glued together. My parents come home, and they're like, why are you so quiet? Like, what's wrong? And I was like, does not make noise. And they pulled a blanket and they saw my fingers and all that super glue. They rushed me to the hospital. It took them 12 hours to unglue my hand.
Oh, my God.
Good Lord.
Super glued your mouth.
What about your mouth? I mean, don't you get poisoned from
And
that?
eventually, luckily I didn't get poisoned. I guess I didn't drink enough of it.
Uh-huh.
But eventually my mouth it just kind of opened up, and they were able to pull it off. But I was lucky.
You're
If
lucky.
I drank anymore, I would have had.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't suffocate. Like, what if you
That's
glued your
terrifying.
windpipe shut?
That's terrifying. And your hands
Yeah,
for 12
I was
hours?
petrified.
Did they have you
Yeah, I
in
was
some sort of
petrified.
like solution for 12 hours and that's why it took so long? Or what was happening in those 12 hours you were at the hospital?
I was just sitting in the ER, and they had a nurse with little tweezers, and just slowly pulling it off.
Ow.
They were afraid that putting acetone or whatever it is on my hands that would eat my skin.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, my God.
I sat there, and my parents were just. I was grounded for like 3 months.
Why are
and
you
then
grounded?
to
You
this
didn't do
day-
anything wrong.
Right. I
You
would
just
say,
you thought
like,
you were getting a sip of water.
Yeah, I mean, especially if anybody who has kids, this is a lesson to, I know, like if you're trying to do something crafty, but if you have a child in your house, somewhere that kid might get a handle on it. So Nydia glued her hands together and her mouth because she thought a glass of glue was water when she was 8.
First of all, I've
That
never
is
heard of anybody
terrifying.
putting like super glue in a glass.
Because super
That's
glue
just
comes
so
in
weird.
such a
It's in a
small
tube,
container.
and-
It's such a small tube.
And it's just a little bit, a dabble do ya.
a dabble do ya, y'all. Okay, Sarah's up next. It is, believe it or not, Sarah. Hi, welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Hello.
Good morning.
Is this about you or somebody you know?
It's about the whole family.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
okay.
onto her story, I actually put a eraser in my ear one year.
An eraser.
So that's something.
Like
Yes.
a pencil eraser.
Can I ask how old you were when you
Yes.
did that?
I was in 2nd grade. That's all I remember.
Okay.
So about 7.
Okay. Well, I'm going to save you all the trouble if you're not going to be up tomorrow for Weekends with Roula, but there is a story I'm going to do about why children put things in their ears and noses. and the most common age is between 5 and 11 that you do this because you have no fear.
Yep.
You don't have any concept of risk.
Uh-huh.
Like kids that look at a pea on the in the vegetable, you know, on their plate, they don't get it that if you put that in your nose and it's to get stuck up there, there's a consequence health-wise.
Yeah.
So they don't have a fear
Yeah, my
of risk and
sister
they're
put
so
a bean in her
inquisitive.
nose.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
bean in her
have a lot of
nose.
stories.
I put
Okay,
a
so
check I know.
it is, believe it or not, it's very believable you put an eraser in your ear. Where else does this go?
Okay, well, this was actually a separate. That was a separate.
Yeah, that
story.
was the
So
sidebar. That was a sidebar story.
This was okay. This was Christmas Day. We're all doing gifts. So beforehand, my niece wanted she's into dressing up, so she wanted a fox, like a fox tail and fox ears.
Yeah.
And
What does the fox
yeah,
say?
and so it comes in, and she's opening it for Christmas, and we notice that it's not just a normal fox ears and fox tail; it's an adult
Oh, no.
fox
Sexy fox.
tail.
Okay.
And,
What is,
and so she's running around asking how she clips this item to her belt.
Oh.
And we were all,
Oh, my God.
Horrified.
we were all freaking out and horrified. And now this is just going to be an item that we buy every Christmas and pass it around the
are you
table.
serious?
That's the foxtail.
Oh my
That's
God.
funny. It just becomes an inside joke with
Yeah.
the family.
And how old was your sister at the time, Sarah?
So this was my sister's daughter, so my niece. This was when she was 8. So this was last year.
For that child that went totally over her head, she didn't get it. But you guys can all have fun with that story for
Yeah.
Who's gonna get it this year?
So every year we're gonna get a fox.
Who's gonna get it this year?
I know we're running out of time, but Brooke has quite the story that I was like, geez, sucks someone had to go through this.
Okay, well,
let's hear it.
Brooke, you're on. We're running out of time, so there's a little pressure for you to tell us your story in a timely fashion.
Chop, chop,
But
bali,
let's
bali.
hear it,
So,
honey. Believe it
hit
or not,
us.
with Brooke. What you
Basically,
got?
what had happened was.
Okay, so I got married right out of high school. I was 18 years old, and I had been adopted when I was younger. The day of my wedding to my first husband, I met my biological sister. She surprised me. She showed up.
Oh, wow.
I was so excited. She became a part of my life. It was all great until about 7 months into my marriage, her and my husband have an affair.
Oh, no.
We get divorced.
Okay.
We get divorced. They get married. They have 3 kids together.
Oh, my God.
So not only did my son's dad was his dad, it was his uncle. His stepmom was his aunt. His stepbrothers were his cousins.
That's so
Okay,
weird.
wait,
So
it gets
then-
worse.
Holy smokes.
I
Okay.
get remarried.
Uh-huh.
I get remarried. They had their kids. They get divorced. Well, 5 years into my second marriage, she comes along and she has an affair with that husband as well.
Oh, my God.
out.
This woman stole 2 of your husbands.
Oh, my gosh.
So we get
sister.
Yep, my biological sister.
And then did she end up with your second husband also? Did you divorce him or did you work through it?
So when she left my first husband, she actually decided she was switching teams and she gained a wife. Well, I guess she didn't know exactly what she wanted because she came from my second husband. Then she went back to her wife. And then after that relationship, I was with another guy for 7 years, and she kept trying to get with him too.
Oh, my God.
So-
What is this girl's problem?
What in the hell? And I don't really have time for this
I
detail,
know.
but how did you meet your biological sister? Like, how'd she even know to show up for your wedding day? Because you said you were excited, so y'all must have had some kind of exchange before this.
No, I had never talked to her. I had never seen her. So my senior year of high school, I was originally from Arizona.
Okay.
My parents shipped me off to Texas to live with my brother because they just couldn't handle me because they were older.
Okay.
And so when we turned 18, that's when all of us could find our siblings. We could go and we could look, and we could look and find our families. She was a year older than me, and so she had reached out and found my mom, my adopted parents, and she went and visited them. And so they were like, "Oh, well, she's getting married. You should come out here and you can meet her and stuff like that." And so that's how that all happened.
Now, does she look anything like you?
Not really.
Okay.
And do you talk to her now? I would assume y'all are estranged now.
No. Why would you want to talk to that?
Hey, think crazier things have happened, Ryan.
No,
We're sitting
but
here talking to people, and we're like, "Oh, there's a terrible man. What happened?" You go, "Oh, we've been married now for 20 years."
Yeah, but
you know
that's
what I mean?
awful.
Like,
Yeah.
it'd be so crazy. Like, I gave her my credit cards.
She stole 2 of her men and tried to steal a third.
Wow, that's really you
Yes.
brought it strong, Brooke. You
You
brought it strong in the
did.
end of
You
Believe It or Not.
did.
That's
Wow.
crazy. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I hope there are happier days ahead for you in your new relationship, and keep this woman far, far away from
If we
you.
didn't get through or you didn't get through, you can always leave your comment on the listener line, 713-278-VENT.
My goodness. Okay. Coming up next in Celebrity Scoop, there is something happening today. It's been happening since 6, and there's going to be a frenzy. I feel like there's going to be a story over the weekend. You're like, did you see what happened in Houston over the weekend? It's more like a local story that I need to share with you because it's on a national stage.
Okay.
You'll understand next on The Roula and Ryan Show.
I'm very proud to present Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop on 104.1 KRBE.
It's brought to you by Taqueria Arandas. Stand by for the security shaming at the NBC Rockefeller Center tree lighting story with all the celebrities there in a second, because I have to pay attention to this. And I was going to tell you guys in the opening break at 6. If you are a person who loves to give gifts at the holidays and you're always looking for a deal, I'm surprised I haven't seen something yet where there's like chaos in the mall, because Bath and Body Works does this one time a year and people line up like at 5 a.m. for this.
Okay.
The candles are usually $24.95. Today only they're $9.95. And some of their stores opened at 6 a.m. And so I was in a store last week and the lady said, "Did you know about next Friday, right?" And I go, I ran up on it last year. I had no idea. She goes, "Oh, yeah. And they don't really advertise that." And I go, "Yeah, is there like a newsletter or something I'm not getting? I don't know." And then she goes, "No, I mean, people that know, they know." And somebody texted us in the 6 o'clock hour, "Don't you get out of my way. My candles are $9.95. Like somebody texted us at 6 in the 6 o'clock hour, "Get out of my way. I'm heading to get my candles." So I'm just letting you know, it's going to be a little busy over there. But if you're looking for a deal,
is what, Memorial, right?
at the Beltway and Memorial.
Yeah.
Is was one.
I might slide today.
So $9.95 for those candles are usually almost $25, y'all. I'm just telling
Why
you.
is the candle
and you know how many people are
$25?
hating me right now for saying that? How many people hate me right now for telling y'all?
They're like, Roula, it's our secret.
It's like, shut up. They're going to take all the scents I want.
I don't think
I don't
you're supposed to have
understand-
candles anyway.
Yes, just shut your face there. Say
bad
less.
for you.
Kevin, I know what you're referring to because there's a study that 80% of
Aromas
people
are bad for you.
are allergic to
Or
the
just
fumes
aromas
that
are supposed to
come
be bad for
from,
you.
Yeah, it's bad for your
the
lungs.
candles.
Yeah, like who was that? Jessica Alba's like, you know what the number one thing is makes you sick? Aromas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just quiet over there, honest. You just quiet over there.
I
Well, it's
know,
just like
yeah.
people that it's like people that do the essential oils in the little heater.
Yeah, I've heard the diffuser's
that's
bad.
supposed to
Those
be
are
real
not
bad
good
for
for you.
Yeah, that's I'm so confused on the diffuser thing because sidebar, if you can text me at 37530, is there real weight to that story about the diffusers that have the aromas of lavender?
Everything I've read,
is
it's
bad for your house, your kids,
It's
and
bad for
everybody.
your lungs, and especially your pets.
So please text at 37530 if unfortunately you have a bad story on that. But let me tell you what happened to Flavor Flav at NBC on Wednesday night. If anybody watched the Rockefeller Center tree get lit, I mean, they had all the great voices. Kelly Clarkson was there. Jennifer Hudson was blowing it out. Magically, it started snowing as if on cue. NBC loved that. They're like, oh my God, it's snowing. Backstreet Boys were there. There was all these different stars, and it was really cool. Flavor Flav was not the sweetheart of the Olympics like Snoop was, but he was a part of the Olympics,
Right.
social media wise. Well, he is friends with the Backstreet Boys, and he said he was invited to Rockefeller Center to see them because they performed. And somebody in security asked him and told him, you need to be removed from back here because NBC does not want you here.
What?
When he went to go visit with the Backstreet Boys backstage. So he put it on Twitter, X Twitter, it's X, but we cannot call it Twitter.
The Bird app.
Right. And, he said, I feel weird. I was invited to the Rockefeller tree lighting tonight and I was escorted to see my boys. And we were backstage in their dressing room when security came up to me and says, NBC does not want me in this area and I need to leave. At the same time, their social media woman came up and asked to capture social content. What did I ever do to NBC or anyone? All I ever do is try to spread joy and love. And I think I did that for NBC at the Olympics. And then he deleted the tweet. And then he posted an update because everyone had reshared it already. And he said, I posted and quickly deleted something last night. I was embarrassed by some language and actions by security guards throwing their weight around. The situation was poorly handled, and I didn't realize how many people would care. I thank all of y'all for the love and this season to spread the season to spread love and joy. Sorry, I can't read. He then spoke about not wanting to take away from everyone's hard work at the Rockefeller Center event and praised J Hud's performance before directing his attention to the Backstreet Boys and talking about how he stayed and watched them from the side stage just as it started to snow and it was fantastic and all that. But I think we've all seen situations where somebody in security is told XYZ people are allowed back here and I don't care who it is, make a move, and they really take that to heart.
Oh, they get a little bit of power and they want to use it.
I mean, I've been to a couple of shows where the actual star on the stage has to tell security to back off.
Yeah.
That person's just having fun. Just leave them alone.
Certain venues.
Listen, I don't know who right now is listening that was at the Enrique Iglesias rodeo show. I think it was like in 2000, 10 or 11. I don't know which one it was, y'all, because he's performed a few times. This girl took off running from the front row at the action seats. You know all that security at the rodeo, how they have tons of...
Yeah.
All these security guards like a calf scramble go after her, and I think they almost tackled her. She gets to the stage, Enrique lets her up, and everyone's like cheering, like, oh my God, you made it! You made it! And then like he's having a little fun with her and singing to her, and then now she's just standing there on the rotating stage, and it's awkward AF.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Because now
you can
you're
leave
like,
now.
I'm here. I'm just going to
What do I
stand
do?
here. Because he was going to let her stay there. He didn't tell her to leave.
Yeah.
But then you yourself probably feel dumb. Like you're like, okay, I'm just going to stand over here now.
She should have did a little dancey dance.
Who are you, girl? I want to know who you are because you had everybody loving that.
KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
Okay, so when we do our Friday shows, I've been looking more and more to find things for people to do over the weekends. And y'all, I just discovered this. I know it's been around for a couple of months, but I was over in City Center. I was picking up a pizza from Grimaldi's, and right next door to it, there's a place called the Great Big Game Show. It's right there at City Center. I want to take the show to do this. So
Is it where the escape game usually is?
it's next. It's right next to it. Okay, it's right next to it. So
Like
you
Fellini's?
experience all the thrills of a televised game show. They have the lights, the music. They've got a live host, and basically two teams face off in a variety of game show rounds. Kind of like Family Feud. So you have a team of 5, and they have different types of games, and you really do feel like you're in a game show set. So if y'all could pick a day, I'll take the show there, and we can battle somebody else. It'd be fun. Be fun to do. So it's called the Great Big Game Show.
It's like the rapid fire
Center.
quiz in a room.
Yeah.
Right? Would it be
You
like
won't
that?
be able to like take the the belt and throw it on the ground.
No,
and
none
have
of that
a tantrum.
chaos that Eric likes to throw. But I'm just saying it's like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
is it trivia games?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, maybe Irvin can film it for us, and the listeners can see.
Yeah, what do you think, Irvin?
He's like, for a fee.
He got him away from his phone there for a second. So y'all know the bridges over 59, the 6 bridges near Montrose on 59.
Yeah. All the lights were out on them for many,
The
many
lights have
years.
been out since, the project was initially completed right before the 2017 Super Bowl, and then the lights have been unreliable since 2018.
Yeah.
So the mayor just shot down the plan to get those lights up. They're never going to be lit, y'all. It's like they're just never going to get lit.
Like every other, every third one works, and sometimes they'll be flickering a little bit. Yeah, it's
So
sad.
it must be like an electrical thing that's just way
No,
too deep.
what happened
We don't
was-
realize how expensive it is.
What had happened was they didn't pay their electric bills in 2018. That's when they went down. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it looked like though a lot of them were malfunctioning at one point. Like half of a bridge would be lit. That's
So
a
the
shame.
repair must just be
And
expensive.
It may be, but I mean, they look like LEDs, and those are pretty cheap to
They
run.
look regular as hell. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not missing this.
So you think that the
it
lights are
was
too
so
basic?
cool, though. It was so cool when they first came on. It was all lit. It looked like a real city, but
Yeah, not going to happen now.
I guess it will look a little dingy over there without him. Yeah.
You said the 5 bridges?
6. There's 6 bridges.
yeah, those bridges right there
Over-
where it dips
They get
down,
like
on the way to
over
Montrose.
Shepherd.
Not the
and-
one where the bats are. Is that one
No,
of
no,
them?
no.
No.
This on 59 where you spur
They're like
off into downtown.
It's like a
Going-
semicircle
God,
chrome
I am
bridge.
visualizing like Allen Parkway Memorial Drive
No.
bridges,
No,
like
no,
where
no,
the
no.
bayou is, and I'm totally off on my
No,
geography.
59.
Okay, the neon lights. I
Yeah,
got what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I'm with Ahmad. I thought they were all worth it.
Yeah, it was
I
like,
can't
okay.
tell. It's fine. Oh, by the way, people are texting me about the oils to get the answer. Somebody said if the essential oil is pure, like Young Living, it's 100% safe and 1,000 times safer than other things. It's the ones that are made from soap. Most store-bought oils are just soaps, and they're very toxic. So you have to look to see what kind of oil you're buying.
All right.
So thanks for that. I knew the texters would know. Coming up next, Special K is going to get us in the mood for the weekend.
A lot
The
of
Friday free-for-all.
Fun throwbacks. Annika Mosey, Montel Jordan, and I've got a remix of The Cure.
Oh, cool.
Ooh,
Love that.
Next on the Roula and Ryan Show.